Right, let's talk about singles. And I don't mean whether you're married or you've got a girlfriend, I mean seats. They're both money pits, although I'm not too sure which one's the worst. Being married or having a camper van, but they both cost you a fortune anyway. So straight on it, seats, right? I'm getting rid of the double. Now we all know that the old money pit behind me now needs going to diet. It's too heavy. So we're getting rid of the R&J double swivel and the R&J single swivel. But also, in doing that, I'm getting rid of the double bench seat. Now, some might say, well, you're going to lose another passenger seat. But to be honest with you, we don't even... It's always folded down, that seat. Nobody ever uses it. I think it's been used probably once since I've had the van. So it's going. And I want access to the back. So I can get out the van. I don't have to walk all the way around it just to get in the back. I can just nip between the seats, happy days. And also, it's a better seating position as well for the missus or whoever's in the passenger seat. So that's today's job. We're ripping that out. And I've got a few bits from MAN as well, which have just rocked up. So let's crack on with this. Right, so we've took the bases out now. Took the driver's side one out as well. So as you can see with that now, that's dropped the driver's seat right down again. Just got to put some plugs in there, which I've got, they're 3D printed. So the best match you can get, you know, for the flooring. And then this bit will have been modified here. So you have to cut this section off for the base, put a cap in, and then, sorry, take the cap out, and then put the cap in on that side, and then put the blanks in. So that's a single seat base going on. But I'll tell you what, there's some weight in them things, you know. That one on its own, it's quite heavy, the double swivel. Well, the single's quite heavy, so if you follow my videos, you'll know that I went to the scrapyard, to tip, and dropping some stuff off, right, because you can get into a tip with the camper van. You don't need a permit, well, especially ours anyway, which is a bit of a bonus. So anyway, I used the scales when I went in, and I said to the guy, like, when I come out, sorry, I said, am I right, just nipping on there, just check the way to the van? He went, yeah, it's fine, that, no worries. So I jumped on, 3.4 tonne. So it's just under, but there was hardly any stuff in the van. So it needs going to diet. So they're coming out and the single's going in. Now I'm going to check the weight of these as well, because I'm not too sure what they actually weighed, but they're heavy. So I'm going to put myself on scales first, see what weight I'm coming in at. So I don't know if that shows up on camera, but I am 86.5 kilograms. I've got a lot of stuff on, like, you know, that heavy jacket, big shoes, so... Yeah, I didn't go on a diet, fat get. Really, let's measure these, see how heavy these things are. Yeah, and don't tell Mrs. I've got scales out as well. Take my phone out, she's not cheating. Because she'll go mad. Right, so, get out of this. Oh shit, the bed. Hope it don't break the scales, this. What are we on? So that is 116 kilos. Jesus Christ. And that one is 106, 107, just, yeah, 107. Jesus. So what did I say? 115 kilo. And then 107. What was I? 86.5? And I was 86. So what's that? So it was 115. I was 86.5. So what's that difference of 28 key roughly? So the big one's 28 key, and the passenger one came at 107. That surprised me. I thought that was like lighter, a lot lighter me. That was 107, right, and that came in at 20 key. That's shocking, that. So total there, 48 key. So 48 kilos or 48 kilograms. Fuck. That's a couple of camping chairs and a pizza oven in it. I think that's all about going next. Right, crack on with these, get them blanks in, get that seat base in, and jobs are good done. So on the deck, what's just rocked up, we've got the seat base. Now, single seats for a MAN van, or even a VW Crafter, 2017 plus, wow. People are asking over £1,000 just for a single seat, and some of them are just driver seats, not even like original passengers or anything. So I managed to get a seat for, I think it was about 400 quid, but it was a driver's seat. It's not bad, a bit mucky like, but It was being retrimmed anyway, so it didn't make any difference, you know, the actual condition of the actual material of the seat. And I thought it was a bargain anyway, but the problem is I had to buy a seat base because it didn't come with a seat base, and they're like rocking horse poo as well to try and get hold of. So we've got some bits anyway, so we're going to convert, on this video, right, I'm going to convert my double into a single, and I'm going to strip down a driver's seat and change a few bits. I'm not going to change them all because personally I don't think I need to change ways around. I mean, if you want to, you can do a full strip down and then basically convert that seat straight into a passenger, which, you know, is from factory like that. But to be honest with you, I don't need it, and it's just probably wasting a bit more money, that really. I probably might change my mind in the future. We'll see how we go, but no, let's get it in there and see how it goes. So on here now we've got the double, 2 holes what's left from the double there. They need to be filled in. Got some 3D caps for them, which I'll show you. Which are these bad boys. I think these are about 20 quid on eBay. There's quite a few companies doing them, but there's one which is just like a cap what sits on top, but as you know me, it's got to be kiddie proof, and if they're just caps, I can see them just being cracked straight through. So I went for the ones with the feet on. Not too sure how strong these are going to be. Are they going to stand the test of time? Maybe. But we'll give it a whirl anyway. We'll see how they go. And it's not a bad match really. It's not too far off. And they'll just basically slot in there. Obviously when I've took that bolt out, it'll go in a bit flusher. And that one under that one there. So it tidies it up a bit, and it saves you ripping out all this floor in here. Because this piece is actually attached to all the driver's side. So you've got to go in there and just whip all that out. And it's just more expense, which if I was building vans as a job, yeah, you'd go that route. But I'm not. It's my van and it's functional and it works how I want it. And as long as it looks tidy and it does what it needs to do, so be it. Just noticed as well, Mark's been sticking his stickers everywhere again. I've only just noticed now, we're getting bloody more stickers there. I didn't even put them on. So anyway, I'm going to get that single base out and we'll put it on here. We'll see how it lines up and then we'll see what bits we need to chop out, because I've got a feeling we're going to have to cut this leg out here for it on this side, the front section, and also I think this plastic trailer will be chopped as well, so we might not need that. So I'll get the base out, we'll see where it lines up to and get it all prepped ready. Right, so if anyone's looking for a seat base from MAN, that's your part number. And if you order them from MAN as well, they deliver it for free. Brilliant, and the price is a lot cheaper than VW, a lot cheaper. So get yourself part numbers or pinch someone's reg off the van and just order them. I mean, I'll leave some part numbers in the description as well if you need them, and just reach out on socials as well, because I've got part numbers for all the seat bits, plastics, and if you look at this video, whichever side it's on, that was when I fitted the seat plastics and that. I won't mind, I've only just done my double as well. What a waste of time that was. But the lad who bought it is happy. I think his missus is happy because when he pulled up, she was sat on the floor. Right, enough chat, get his base in. As you can see on that one as well, this one doesn't have the handbrake attachment to it, which you have on the driver's side one. So you don't have to cut that off and it's tidy. You might have also noticed his other boxes as well. New rubber for this sliding door. So basically them rubbers, right, cover this section of the door. So if I peel off my Velcro mosquito net, which didn't work, broke, you'll see it leaves a load of glue behind. So I've cleaned that off now. But the rubber, as you can see there, doesn't cover the plastics. So that's going to be a shit for getting that off, I bet. So this rubber what I bought actually laps over that and it finishes that area off dead nice. Well, it's supposed to. We'll see. Hey, did anyone notice as well? It's not raining. It's freezing, but it's not raining yet. I think I just jinxed that, haven't I? Oh my God, it's raining right mess, that. Another bad idea that was. Buy cheap, buy twice. Let's mat up. Right, so let's get it basic. Let's see where this bugger lines up. Oh my God, there's loads of that plastic's come off. So I think first thing first is we're trimming that. Base of that is just being cut off straight from there all the way across before we do anything. And just out of curiosity, let's have a look where our base line's up to. You know what, right? You can never find a pencil or pen. I had a load of them dead fine marker pens. I forgot what they're called now. Taliskers ones or whatever they were. Kids and a wife just take everything. They have a note. Can't have a note, lad. And I want to mark off on the rubber. Just make sure she's lined up. And I can't even find a sharpening either. Resort to bloody Stanley blades and that. Get that out of the road. So we've got a rough ass mark here where that's going. Check for cables. Because I know when Mark was doing these, he said he actually had a cable under here. Yeah, we're good to go, lad. Basically a little chunk right a bit. Basically that little cap underneath there is what we want to take out and transfer onto this side. It's basically just plastic, that. And then what we can do is do a little test. See if our seat fits in that gap, or if we have to trim a little bit more off. That, my son, I think we are on to a winner. Right, so now I've got base lined up. We can get that fuse board chopped. And then we're nearly there, lad. Let's give her a test fit. So some people actually reverse those fuse boards so you can get access to the back of the seat with it, because obviously once your seat's on top of here, it's a ball ache getting to them. Do you know what I mean? So that could be a future mod. Probably should have done it now, but the Jonesy way, do everything first and then change it all when it's finished. Let's get our base in, see which lines. And I think we're snug as a bug in a rug. All we need to do now is get our bolts in. You know, one thing I have noticed with this, before I put it in, look at that gap. Oh, I think that's going to bug me, that. Because that's the issue I have with the van. Because it's blue, any little piece of bodywork showing what shouldn't be there or it's not supposed to be seen, it stands out like a sore thumb. I think I might get a bit of spray paint actually, spray it inside so it doesn't catch your eye, whereas the blue catches your eye on that one. Plug and play, that's all I need in my life. Right, took another van metallic black, which got me better than blue. Iridium grey vans hide a multitude of things. One seat base, next one. Let's get these blanks in. Right, so these should be a case of popping under or popping in. Probably do a bit of heat on that back edge, get that back end up, and then this RSM one. Just a little laugh because that one popped in there. And do you know what? It fills some gaps in tighter, and you're not a million miles off. Not a perfect fit, but it's better than now. It saves ripping floor out. Next bit, I've got some swivels for these as well. Now, I've gone for the Jennings Fasps. As you saw in one of my previous videos, there's quite a few of the crafters, they've opted for Ordino. Oh, I still think you can't say that now. And very expensive. I can't justify paying 700 quid for some swivels, even though I bought one with the R&J. But that was another story. So we've gone for the Fasps. We'll try them out, see if they're any good. And if they do the job, and I have no issues with them, then happy days. So let's get one of them stuck on here. There's two in this box. Got a box of bits. Bit of hard work. And this comes as a 2-pack kit, this, so you bought the passenger and the driver's one together. But you can buy them single. I think they're about 130, 140 quid. It's not bad for a swivel. That's two of them. And I'm not too sure which is passenger and which is driver's. So, according to these pictures, what they sent, man looks absolutely bagger on like that. If it looks a bit, goes that way, with that point in the middle. So that should, in theory, line up with all our holes. There's also an handbrake modification as well. Even though I've done the drop down handbrake, I think when I fit this swivel on the other side, I'm gonna have to modify that handbrake again and drop it even lower. And basically it looks like you're going 25mm up higher on the actual handbrake mounting, but we'll go through that. Fasten the swivel to the base frame. Use the bolts removed from the seat sliders. Come on, Jennings. Why would I have slider seat bolts when it was a double seat? You could have put them in the pack for us, couldn't you? I have to go and root through my little shit box of bolts now for some bolts for this. Basically, right, that is our swivel. So I'll lock that back, spin, and go all the way around. Now they only swivel one way, these. It's a shame they didn't spray them in black, though, innit? So that's pretty much it for the swivel base. Just got to wait for the seat on that now. As soon as the seat's ready, we can get that plonked on there, and then happy days. Driver's side, I think we'll get the swivel on first, and then I'm going to see where we are with the handbrake, because it says in the instructions 40mm spacers. Now I don't really want to raise it loads, because I think it was on 70mm with the R&J, and that was on its extremes. That we'll get it in, see what it looks like, see how far off it is from the handbrake when the handbrake's down, and then we can work out if the handbrake mod will be perfect for it, or if the spacers need to be 40mm. So if you look at this now, flattest point, I would say 25mm. That's with the 5mm spacer under it. So I'd probably stick another 5mm space, that's 10mm, just to make sure, and then do the mod on the handbrake, drop that 25, so that should be 35mm in total. I think we can live with that. So if you look at this picture here now, they're the original mounting holes, are these bad boys here. And what they've done is, they've actually gone 25mm higher. You've got to be careful because you've not got much room for this tab here. Now this is the one that activates the handbrake, but tells it whether the handbrake's on or not. First things first, I think we're more with handbrake. Fit our Cosmos chocks under. I got these with a shite set years ago, and I tell you what, cheap and nasty, but they do the job. There we have it. So we've got to see now if we can get 25mm up without weakening that, and also up here and get clearance on that little centrepiece. Right, so that's our engineered bloody handbrake, over-engineered. So bottom mounting here has been raised, and the rear one's been raised. Now what I've had to do here is the little lever here which activates the switch at the back, just had to trim a little bit of that off. Just handbrake on, drops back down, handbrake off. So one thing I did notice then when I've just tightened this up is the back edge here just catches that frame there. I'm thinking of putting a washer on it, just for kick out the front and the back, just for taking off it a bit, and that should free it up. Yeah, so 2 washers, well, a washer either side of that, and it just frees it up. You can just see that. Lots moving out. But then if you look how low the base is, so it just misses there. I think that's the lowest point on the swivel base. So let's get his plastics on there, see where they line up. I'm hoping it doesn't touch. If you've just got a bug stick on it, happy days. So there's a possibility you might have to trim this, because obviously you load this down now, everything else is all raised up in it. So we'll just try it. So another thing what needs trimming down on this is, if you look inside there, you know the locating lugs, what go on the screws there, and these, obviously they need dropping a few mil as well. So we'll get the old file out, we'll file these down a bit, and then we'll try and fit it again. Right, trim number 3. So I think we're going to have to trim a little bit off this section here on the front bit, and then probably do a little bit more inside. I bet we're not a million miles off. Trim number 4. Right, number 5. It's better go too little than too much. There's something sitting right on that. Finally. God, hell. It's done me sweet in that. Next bit, trim this bloody thing. Just decided, sick of seat plastics. Should just bought a van with 2 single swivels in it. Make it life so much easier. That's got to be the tightest bloody plastic ever. Voila. Holy bolies. One handbrake mod. Dead simple. Well, faff that was. Hardest part of that was the plastics. Oh, you know, I've just realised. It's not got a swivel. Right, we've dropped a bollock. 100%. So when we measured this, we measured it with no covers on, didn't we? Or didn't I, should I say. Put the plastics on, and the arse end sits higher than a kite. It's massive. So when you swivel, we can't get past it. We're raising the base up, because you're not going to get that any more lower than what it is. Right, so we started splitting this seat down now. So I've just took the two plastics off and took the base off. Now the base, I'll just show you on this one here now. It's basically just two brackets for the front end there, and then two loop in the back there, so you can get access to the seat then. You don't have to take the cover off and stuff. Took the plastics off here now. Now these plastics, right, if you look at these, when they're on the, like on the seat, right, if you look on the inside, you have two pins, and these are an absolute faff that get out. And it's like one of them where it's got like a rod type thing what you push in it, and then it opens it up. But because it's so tight on here, on the seat, to get into it, I ended up getting like a little pry bar or something like that. We can just get in, just try and wiggle that rod up in between so you can get them out, because you've got to get them out before the plastics will release, and then it basically just pops off and slides up. Why a seat's always minging when you take on pieces? Look at that. Yeah, disinfect all that. Absolutely rank. The next step, right, so because I'm transferring this seat now over, that seatbelt buckle, right, has got to come off, and it's got to go on this side. So I've got a modification bracket, but as part of that modification bracket, you've got to cut these two nuts off here with a disc and just whiz them off, you know, so it's got its own, you see what go onto it. And then to get access to that, you just got to lift the seat up a bit like that, and it brings this down, this section. Just undo two of them, just get it away from the seat, then I can work on that then without getting bits everywhere. But you do have to take the bottom runner off for it. The wiring loom, I'll have to see if I can go through, because it normally goes through that all there, the wiring section, but on this side, because you've got the raise and lower your seat thing there, that's actually taking that all up. I'll just run it through, but we'll see that, work that one out. The armrest is going to have to stay there because it's the left hand side armrest, you know, on it, and if I transfer it to the other side, it just won't fit right, because it's shaped for that. So I was going to get one for the other side, but looking at the price of them, I think we'll pass on that one. I think this person had this seat must have had a bloody dog or something, man. That's rank, that. Ugh. She'll kill me if she sees this. So I'm going to get all this stripped down anyway, get these done. This is going to upholsterers then, once I get these covers off, and then get all these plastics and all that cleaned up. Oh, that's another thing as well, the bar. So I might have to order a new one of these, because I can see this being a faff. So the bar, basically, when it's on your runners, is attached to that, and you see it, but the pointy bit's sticking that way. So I think when you're getting in and out of the van, that's going to rattle your legs. Ideally, you could do it going on that side. Might put a bit of heat in that and bend it. If not, I'll see how much they are on Man anyway if I get a new one. If it's peanuts, get a new one. If it's not, let's get some heat in it and then we'll bend it. So that's both runners stripped now. Pretty much bare frame on that one. There's absolutely no point in me changing the mechanisms on here and switching it round, because you can still access that side. It doesn't matter if it's on the inside anyway and it's not on the outside leg. So there's no point in getting new plastics neither. So we'll get these up to the trimmers now, them and my bits, and then we'll get it sorted. Right, so the seat's back from upholsterers, right, so I have to try and remember now how to build this up. So that front one, I've got another thing for that I'm going to try in a minute. I've got some spacers, I think 25 mils, but I'll have to check them in a minute if I get over that handbrake. Right, so we'll get this built up now, if I can remember what bits were what. So you should always take a picture of what you're doing. So on the runner side of it, right, for swapping the seatbelt over on this, you actually chop off, you see those two nuts there, which are actually welded to the actual frame. So you just skim them off with that, and then basically just, that's where our bracket's gonna go. That's the original, that's the aftermarket. So the aftermarket one basically just mounts on that. The one I've been relegated to the van as well, because the missus is home, so I can't use the kitchen. And guess what? It's absolutely chucking down again. Typical weather, I knew I'd jinx it, right? So I want to build this similar to what that one was on there, so you can see that's on facing the outside, the top part. So where the seatbelt is here, it does look like we're going to have to cut a slidge out of that. We should be alright then. Right, so plastic bits are on so far, everything looks good. So I think we can just a case of sticking our placky bits on, swig it brew, and put seat on. Can you guess what I forgot fit? Unbelievable. Me adjuster bar. I'm hoping I can get this on without stripping all that down again, because the plastics are a little bit naughty. Can't believe I forgot that. What an absolute idiot. Oh, and if you want a part number for that one, you can focus. But I'm hoping we can get this in here. Should be able, I would have thought, to bend it in. Back peg. Bit of a bendy. It's a biggest chance. Go on, you little shit. Yes, get in. Glad that went in. So on the bottom of these, right, these little tabs, they have to be cut off because they don't fit on the swivel seat. I mean, you can drill the swivel if you want to, but To be fair, you might as well just chop them off really. Let's get his seat in there. Right, so if I finished the back of this seat off, if we're putting plastics on right, got more man bits. I've spent an absolute fortune in Man on bits this van, I tell you. When you weigh it up, it would have been cheaper to buy a bloody pre-done van. Plastics. Part numbers, another one there. This is for the rear seat one, you see that? There's that one on. And then this, you clip on. Oh, this could be fun. There we go. Just finish it off nice, doesn't it? Let's take all blackie off. It's not even looked at seat yet. The old man headrests. Get that whizzed on. Now one thing what was missing off here is the lumbar, which is just there. Now it's not been cut through that. I'm in two minds with it. Pop that on now so you can adjust the lumbar, or leave it because I will get, going forward, an armrest for this. I think it might go in the same hole, but I don't want to put a hole in that just in case it doesn't. And then you've got, you know, you're re-trimming your bloody seat again. Feels a bit weird having a single on this side. That's just padding that. But no, it's different, really different. You're definitely missing that armrest here. I think you need like a leaning point, but it's been bolted up on the sides here a bit better than what it was. Best thing is, you can actually get a better seating position in it, which is what, because the passengers, right, when they're sitting here, they're quite upright there, and it's not a comfortable drive where you need that extra reclining bit. So single now, it just gives them that bit more flexibility in that, you know, they can sit down, relax and just chill. But the best thing about it is you can actually get through the middle bit, so I can get in the back and do stuff, which is what I wanted the single for. But also, it's a lot easier than that bloody orange here. Albeit you've got to move a bit of stuff around, like, but how easy is that? Simple. And it's just easy, that no faffing about, no one doing loads of nuts and springs and lifting seats up and emptying the seat and all that rubbish, you know what I mean? That's just like so much easier. So you can just pull up anywhere, flick that switch, don't even have to get out and swivel around. So as you can see, right, that makes a massive difference. I mean, you've got to walk through the bit there in the middle, and I just like the fact you can get in and out the front. But there are a couple of things to note. Right, so the first thing I've done on here. Now the issue with not changing your plastics, right, which is what I've run into, I've had to trim a little section off here, so when you pull the handle up, you're missing that because that actually comes quite far over. And also, where the yellow levers are, that just touches. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can still move it, but it's on the borderline, so you can't lower this section down anymore. And also, another issue with it, you see this plastic here, it's just touching on the swivel here. So if you do lower it down a touch, you're going to have to make sure that doesn't catch. Or you could basically trim a little piece off just a little bit more, but I'm happy with that there, with the height of the seat there. It's good. And it just does the cab a lot better. And the same colour. Result. Right, now I need to tackle that driver's seat. Now I had two options there. I had spent 90 quid. Now if you hadn't bought the handbrake, the lowering handbrake, then I could have saved myself a few hundred quid and bought the drop down handbrake, which I think is priced about 90 quid. So learn by my mistake on that one. If you're going for twin singles, right, don't bother with the automatic handbrake because you can't get it low enough. Although there might be somebody out there who's done it, but I'm on the extremes of the holes I can drill now, and you can't get it low enough to let it swivel, and that's with 15mm space on, so it's going to have to come up to 25mm, that driver's seat. And by doing that, I'm raising the height a little bit again, which I was trying to get away with, but it's not 70mm, so I've got to put that in mind. It's not 70mm, so not too bad, and then we can get it swiveled then. Do you know what I mean? But go for the drop down handbrake. I think the cheapest I saw it was 90 quid, which basically is just another frame, fits onto your handbrake, and then your handbrake then can be pivoted sideways. Swivel seat, happy days, no faffing. But I suppose you live and learn, don't you? Right? I'm going to try and get this raised up now and then get that thing swiveled. Right, so my plan of attack with this driver's swivel, right, that catches for a start. So the idea is stick them bad boys under. They will sit underneath there and just raise this bed up slightly, just enough, I'm hoping, to clear that. So for these I ordered some M10s, bigger ones, a lot longer, because obviously with the extension of these, the factory bolts, you'd only get two or three threads on it. And these are about 50mm long, these. Well, I'm not going to lie, right, I've raised that now with all those spacers, and I'm getting a scuff on the actual top here. Don't want to raise the seat anymore. Do you know what I mean? Because that was the reason why I went for these swivels. It's not the best design, to be honest with you. The handbrake is the issue. Told you, drop down, piece of piss. But I get the swivel on it. It's still easy. Just get a little touch as it goes round. On both those nuts there. I might re-look at this handbrake again and see if I can squeeze a few more mil out of it. Which I probably can. Probably can get a bit more out of it. But I think for now, she'll do. We'll look at that in the future. Anyway, 2 single seats knocked off the list. See you all again. Laters.